India's economic journey to me is a story of resilience. India is a nation that's turned its struggles into the stepping stones for success. From standing at the edge of bankruptcy to building one of the world's most powerful economies, India is nothing short of extraordinary. Take the Mahakumbh for an example. The government spent more than 7,500 crore rupees on the developments around the river system of the Mahakumbh, which are going to be permanent. Also, India's defense system is reaching new heights. From powerful missile systems to cutting edge technology, this stands as a symbol of security. But these developments came after a tedious process, including many highs and lows. For instance, in 1991, the country was drowning in debt with foreign reserves barely enough to last 2 weeks. Desperation called for a drastic change when the finance minister Manmohan Singh introduced the LPG reforms, also known as liberalization, privatization, and globalization. This meant that the sectors could take decisions easily without the government being nosy, and the best part was that the license Raj was kicked out. Now, the state owned enterprises could be owned by private entities, and the government opened its arms to the global economy for trade and investments.
Then came the dot-com bubble burst. Imagine your investments hitting rock bottom. If your trusted stocks in your portfolio get devalued by 75%, how would you feel? Like someone bursted your bubble? Exactly. This is what happened under dot-com bubble burst. This was a phase where people heavily invested in the stocks of IT and tech firms, expecting them to grow. Instead, the value of these stocks fell. People lost tons of money. And a key measure of these stocks, the Nasdaq Composite Index, lost about three-fourths of its value. In simple terms, if you bought something for 100 rupees and its value fell to just 25 rupees, the Bombay Stock Exchange fell to less than half of its value. Today, in 2025, we are heading to a similar trajectory of AI bubble burst, where people are heavily investing in AI and tech stocks. This could turn into a similar bubble burst. The 2008 recession affected every country in the world, even though its effect on India was not that major, but it did play a significant role in slowing down the country's growth. Its impact on the economy and the markets were tremendous. The Indian markets were severely impacted by this to such an extent that Sensex was down by 1,408 points on the morning of 21st January 2008, which was referred to as Black Monday in the history of stock market. Along with the markets, the jobs were also affected in this time period. A lot of people lost their jobs due to mass firings. Even hiring of new employees slowed down. We talked to Disha Sharma, one of the MBA graduates of 2009 batch who faced the consequences of recession. So can you please tell us what problems you faced and how long did it take you to find a stable job? On the night of November 8, 2016, India witnessed a historic financial decision as a Prime Minister announced.
आज मध्यरात्रि यानी 8 नवंबर 2016 की रात्रि को 12 बजे से वर्तमान में जारी 500 रुपए और 1,000 रुपए के करेंसी नोट लीगल टेंडर नहीं रहेंगे, यानी ये मुद्राएं कानूनन अमान्य होगी.
Millions and millions rushed to the banks to exchange their old notes. ATMs ran dry. Small businesses and daily wage workers were affected. Higher denomination notes were banned. Eventually, 2,000 rupee notes came into circulation. This pushed India into a cashless economy.
GST or Goods and Services Tax was implemented in India on 2017. It replaced many indirect taxes like VAT and service tax while enforcing the idea of one nation, one tax. It also encouraged digitalization and reduced the circulation of black money and corruption. But as we spoke to a chartered accountant, the reality about GST came forward, and we asked ourselves if it was really necessary for GST to be implied at all.
So it was necessary, of course, but I feel that the idea, what it was to simplify the taxation, that still not happened because GST also stays complex as it is.
And the complexities do not really end there. For example, the registration issues for GST are even worse, and it usually ends in bribery.
So GST also kind of a thing adds a cost to the business, because as business professionals you need to hire a proper team which can then comply to the requirements of GST, be it filing returns online, going to departments to rectify the case. So it's like I feel that it's an additional cost to the business professionals.
So the entire reason of GST being implementing was contradicting itself, and the only thing that could really improve is
And maybe they can work more on how to make the website, the compliance, and so that it simplifies for normal people also to make file returns themselves.
many business owners were also not happy with GST.
it is it is it is it is not worth the effort. GST is not worth the effort. In the name of simplifying businesses, they have just created a monster where small businesses will get ruined.
In March 2020, the world stopped. India, like many other countries, faced a big economic crisis. Shops closed, jobs were lost, and families struggled. Big and small businesses suffered the most. India's economy went down, and many people had no work. The future looked uncertain. But India is a country of hardworking people. When things get tough, we find new ways to move forward. Many people who lost their jobs started their own small businesses, from online shops to home run kitchens. New businesses started growing. Slowly, India's economy began to change. At the same time, something big was happening. Digital payments were growing fast. More people started using UPI, Paytm, and other online payment apps. Even small vendors like tea sellers, vegetable sellers started using QR codes for payments. People no longer needed cash, making business easier and faster. We spoke to local vendors to understand how their businesses have changed. Vegetable sellers were among the worst hit during the pandemic, but unlike those, the general store vendors were less affected. We also conducted interviews and asked them if they prefer cash payments or UPI. Surprisingly, all of them gave the same answer. They received payments in 50-50 ratios. That is 50% of the customers choose cash and 50 choose online.
The COVID 19 pandemic posed unpredictable changes globally, and India was no exception to it. Yet, in the face of adversity, India's economic resurgence has been nothing short of remarkable. And as we all know, post pandemic, India's digital landscape has witnessed an exponential growth. In 2023 alone, India has added over more than 50 unicorns, making it one of the fastest growing startup hubs globally. And India has also had an unimaginable manufacturing and export growth. Government initiatives such as product linked incentive schemes have invigorated the manufacturing sector. And because the agricultural sector has embraced technological innovations, this has transformed the food security and rural incomes, driving overall economic growth. India has made a lot of global advancements as well. For example, its diverse investments in forex reserve assets, which sum up to more than 50,000 crore rupees. Politically, India has found and joined organizations like BRICS and G20, where it's growing its allies, especially the powerful ones like China and Russia, and together with them, we are advancing towards de dollarization, which can help build our currency better. But we still need to grow and tackle problems like overpopulation. Also, the government seriously needs to invest more money on building roads because potholes are seen in every corner of India even after 2 months of being made. And we all know that the government can buy good quality raw materials since Marine Drive has been the same for more than a decade and it still looks as good as new.
These developments have led to increased employment opportunities, a surge in foreign direct investment, and a strengthened position in global markets. India's journey from a regional player to a global economic powerhouse is evident in its expanding influence and partnerships worldwide. Today, India's economy is not just back, it is stronger than before. Small businesses and digital payments played a big role in their success.